Barangay Ginebra looks to get back on the winning track in what has been a really tough week in the PBA bubble. The Gin Kings will face tonight the defending champions of the Philippine Cup, the San Miguel Beermen. Ginebra is coming off back-to-back losses, while San Miguel is riding a 3-game win streak. And I got to speak to Ginebra Head Coach Tim, and he says the Gin Kings aim to improve their overall game instead of just focusing on their next opponent.
For us, it's about us. It's about us making sure that we're doing the right things. And if anything, we're adjusting our game, but not adjusting our game for San Miguel, just adjusting our game as we continue to explore our personnel. And Stanley, we're trying to figure out Stanley a little bit. We have a tendency to be Stanley reliant, like we were with Justin. We become Justin Brownlee rely on him to do so much for us. And we're kind of falling into that trap with Stanley. So those are things we're trying to adjust, get everybody involved.
How healthy is your team now? Is that a concern for you? We haven't seen LA yet, really in those LA Tenorio minutes in the higher upper 30s. Can we expect a full squad facing San Miguel here? Like, your core guys, Japet, Stanley, LA, Scotty, playing heavy minutes?
Well, we want to continue to use our depth. That's for sure. That's something we've worked hard to develop, and trying to use our depth, using Arvin Tolentino and Prince Caparal. Jeffrey Chan is becoming more and more of a weapon for us. So we do have a lot of depth, and we want to make sure we continue to use that depth. The only guy that's, LA has not been 100%, obviously. Showed up in his game, but he's getting better and better every game. His wind is getting better. He's less worried about the wounds that he has. Just yesterday, right before practice, we had to wait for him on the bus because his wound opened up and he had to clean the wound from his surgery. So, those are the things that he's going through just to stay in the lineup. So, he's a man full of courage. And then Art De La Cruz. We're trying to get Art De La Cruz back in the lineup. Yeah. He would be a nice impact player that could come in and really give us some real solid minutes. So, and that's coming. That's coming, I always tell our guys we don't have to be great now. We got to be great when playoff times come. We got to be great enough now to get ourselves in a position to do well in the playoffs. So, looking for that top 4. So we don't expect to be at the top of our game right now, but we need to be good enough that we can beat teams like San Miguel and Alaska coming up and making sure that we get to that top 4.
I know you've faced San Miguel a lot of times with Junmar. I think this will be the first time that you'll be facing San Miguel without Junmar, because there were times where I think some conferences without you were playing without Greg. So will the dynamics change here?
No doubt about it. It does change the dynamic, a little bit, but not as much, I think, as people think, because like I said earlier in our conversation, they are so basketball smart. They Kabugnot and Lassiter and Arwin Santos and Chris Ross, that group right there, they can really pick you apart. They read the game really, really well. They read the defenses really well. And Motap Tua at this point is doing a good imitation of Jumar. He's down there, really causing havoc in the post, and you have to account for that. And just like with Jumar, you got to go out. So, you got to give their coaching staff a lot of credit. They're not missing a beat right now.
Legendary PBA coach Tim has been through almost everything in his illustrious career, but this year, he and the rest of the league found themselves in uncharted territory with the PBA holding the Philippine Cup inside a bubble amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, in part 2 of my interview, Coach Tim talks about the challenges he and Barangay Ginebra have had to face after 1 month in the bubble.
I wouldn't say it was scary because it's, the way they've been doing things here, you feel very, very safe in all the things you're doing. The protocols are quite strict. And so there is a feeling of safety here. It's just a wonderful thing to be able to get back to work and do it safely. And that's the way we felt here. There's other issues. The other issues for the players, like, dealing with roommates, not being, being away from your wife and your girlfriend, and you know, I mean, and your children if you have children, not being able to really leave and go anywhere. You're seeing the same rooms over and over again. You have the same routines. Basically, you spend 20 hours in your room almost, you know, sleeping and just hanging out a day. So, you know, those things wear on you after a while. And then you add on the fact that if you're losing or you've lost a game, I was saying to Olsen, my assistant coach Olsen Rosella.
Yeah, Coach Olsen Rosella,
Coach Olsen, we were in the elevator, and I go, man, I hate losing. I really hate losing. And then I paused, and then I said, and I hate losing in the bubble even more. You know, because you can't get away from the game. Usually you can go home, you know, you get away from it, do different things. I go play tennis, you know, I do whatever I can to get away from the game and come back fresh. Here, it's just constant. It's just, you know, you walk out of your room, you see your players, you see their opposition coach, you know, and you just can't get away from the game here. So it's, you know, there are definitely challenges here. But the by and large, I think today is for our team is literally our 1 month anniversary in the bubble today, because we came in on the 29th, and today is the 29th.
Wow!
And so
happy 1 month in the bubble, Coach. Happy 1 month.
I wish you could say happy anniversary, but it's you know, and we were actually talking about that in a meeting today because. You know, would we rather be here dealing with these things, dealing with the 2-game losing streak, dealing with all the issues we have here, or would we want to be at home, you know, wondering if we're going to have a job, wondering if we're going to have our salary the next day, you know, not knowing what's going on. And, you know, take your pick. It's a no-brainer. You know, we'd rather be here. And, again, we're just real thankful for the PBA doing it in such a great manner that we feel so safe doing our jobs. We couldn't be doing this anywhere else.